In the harshest ocean off the coast of America, where waves are as high as mountains and winds howl to the bone, thousands of people face danger every day just to make a living. From crab boats and shrimp boats to lobstering vessels, every voyage is a battle with nature. Where a sudden storm, a broken cable, or a small slip can claim lives at any moment. But why do they keep returning, time and time again, facing death in exchange for profit? What you are about to witness will give you the closest feeling to those perilous moments of survival. Go discover America's deadliest seafood jobs, why they still risk it all for profit. When it comes to the most dangerous professions in America, the ocean comes to mind as a harsh battlefield where life and death are separated by only a single slip. In the frigid waters of Alaska, crab fishing is notoriously a life-or-death challenge.
Hold on.
High waves submerged the deck. Slippery ice turned every step into a gamble with life, and a single broken winch cable could instantly claim the life of a sailor. Each crab pot, weighing hundreds of kilograms, being pulled up in the middle of a snowstorm is a true test of human strength. Seawater whips against the deck like a lash, and thick ice on the cables makes every maneuver slippery and dangerous. The enormous pot, having just emerged from the sea, spun violently in the wind, slamming against the ship's hull with a deafening, metallic roar. A single misstep or half-second of slow coordination could send anyone tumbling under the weight of the pot, which weighed hundreds of kilograms. Moving down to the Gulf of Mexico, shrimp trawling is no less dangerous. The boat rocks violently in sudden storms, heavy nets get tangled around your legs, and tons of shrimp slide wildly beneath the deck, requiring sailors to react quickly in every second. One moment of carelessness, and you could be swept away by the nets or plunged into the freezing sea. In Maine, lobster fishing may seem more peaceful, but it's actually quite risky. The decks are slippery with water and ice, winches pull in lobster traps weighing hundreds of kilograms, and high waves can strike unexpectedly, submerging both crew and equipment. Sailors must work together seamlessly, every second counts, and every action must be precise. Finally, in New England, scallop dredging is another challenging profession. Heavy equipment, limited workspace, and cramped, slippery decks create risks of being pinched, tripped over, or even caught in machinery. Each shift is a test of reflexes and courage, where a small mistake can have serious consequences. These professions are not just jobs, they are lives where stress, danger, and risk are present every second. Here, a small slip could be death. And that is why seafarers must possess extraordinary skills, courage, and determination to survive. This is a harsh environment where the sea never shows mercy, and it is also the setting for dramatic survival stories that few can imagine. Behind every ship, after the storms and slippery decks, are people, sailors carrying their families and hopes on their shoulders. Life at sea is unlike anywhere else. 12 to 16-hour shifts, cramped sleeping quarters barely big enough for a bunk bed, no strong internet, and weeks away from home becoming a mental test. Every day, they wake up to the sound of the alarm, check their equipment, prepare their nets, and face the ocean, where a lack of concentration, a small mistake, or a slip could turn everything into a disaster. In their rare moments of rest, they have few distractions, a cramped gym, a few TVs, or a quick chat with teammates. But every second, every decision is fraught with risk and responsibility. When a crab pot weighing hundreds of kilograms is pulled up, they must coordinate perfectly, calculating every step to ensure no one gets hurt. The decks of ships off the coast of America are not a place for slowness or carelessness. Here, every fishing method carries its own risks, but all follow a common rule. A single misstep can cost lives. On crab fishing boats in Alaska, crab pots weighing nearly 800 pounds sway violently with each gust of cold wind from the Bering Sea. Just a strong rocking motion or a slip of the pot's rope can send a pot crashing onto the deck with enough force to break bones, scatter belongings, and put anyone standing in the wrong position in immediate danger. In the Gulf of Mexico, danger takes on a different form. Giant shrimp trawls, when pulled up, can suddenly twist or wrap around a sailor's legs. Once the cable is fully tensioned, it can yank a person underwater in seconds, where strong currents and propellers make survival extremely precarious. In Maine, lobster harvesting may seem like a gentler job, but it hides a hidden danger. The heavy lobster traps, when the deck is tilted by waves, can all slide like uncontrolled blocks of steel. A single sliding trap is enough to break a leg, Multiple traps sliding at once can send a sailor tumbling over the railing into the frigid 40-degree Fahrenheit water, where their body becomes paralyzed within minutes. Each fishing method has its own equipment, conditions, and procedures, but they all share one common reality. Danger appears unexpectedly and lasts only a few seconds. A small mistake, a slip of the foot, or an unusual wave can lead to irreversible consequences. On the open sea, where wind, waves, and heavy equipment operate simultaneously, nature never allows for mistakes. Whether it's crab fishing, shrimping, or lobster harvesting, it's all a constant confrontation with the thin line between life and death, a challenge that only the seasoned, alert, and resilient can overcome. After enduring all the dangers, many sailors still return to the ocean. It may sound counterintuitive, but for them, it's not just a job. It's a way of life, a place that tests human courage, willpower, and survival skills. However, there are things stronger than fear that keep them clinging to the sea. Teamwork, professional pride, a connection to the ocean, and its harsh beauty. Income is also a major motivator. A successful crab fishing or lobster harvesting season can bring in hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, a well-deserved reward for the risks they face. Most importantly, life amidst the harshness of nature creates a sense of being truly alive and vibrant. Each day is a challenge where people must coordinate precisely, react quickly, and be resilient to survive. In America's most dangerous professions, people are the lifeblood, the reason why voyages continue despite the ever-present dangers. In America's most dangerous seafood industries, the coast isn't the finish line. The moment the ship comes to a halt, another battle begins, a battle in the processing plant, where speed, cold steel, and exhaustion clash, and a moment of carelessness can be costly. With Alaskan king crab, the pressure starts the moment it arrives at the plant. These crabs, weighing dozens of pounds, must be processed in a short amount of time to preserve their firm meat and high value. Workers toil amidst boiling steam, melting ice, and slippery metal floors, alongside powerful hydraulic cutters and high-capacity conveyor belts. The crab claws still hold a strong grip. A single misstep can result in broken bones or serious injury. Here, speed dictates profit, but that same speed also means constant risk of accident. For Maine lobster, the danger comes from relentless repetition. Thousands of lobsters are loaded onto conveyor belts each shift, requiring rapid sorting, claw attachment, and transfer to live tanks or freezing lines. Cables, metal hooks, and heavy traps are still present in the processing area. Prolonged cold temperatures cause numb hands and slowed reflexes, while each lobster can still grip with enough force to crush a finger. Many workers have accumulated injuries for decades that are never documented. As for New England scallops, the danger is more subtle, but no less harsh. The scallops are pulled up along with mud, rocks, and razor-sharp shells, then dumped into the processing area. Workers must stand for hours separating shells, cleaning, and sorting in a damp, cold, and noisy environment. Broken shell fragments can fly out unexpectedly. The heavy conveyor belts are constantly moving, and even a small slip is enough to trap a worker or cause them to fall into running machinery. common thread in all these jobs is that there is no room for error. Profits from king crab, lobster, or scallops are measured in millions of dollars, but the price is the health, safety, and sometimes the lives of the people behind each container of frozen seafood. And that's why, in America's most dangerous seafood industry, the question isn't just how much money they make, but why they still take the risk to continue this work. Every fishing season is a race against risk in nature, but the future of crab fishing, shrimp trawling, and lobster harvesting is becoming more unpredictable than ever. Climate change is making the seas more unpredictable, with stronger and more frequent storms, and marine populations are constantly shifting or declining. Once abundant areas now have to apply strict quotas to protect resources, resulting in lower yields and increased pressure. The accident rate in the profession remains high, becoming a major barrier for the younger generation when choosing to follow in their footsteps. Nevertheless, for many families, the ocean is still home, and going out to sea is an inseparable part of their lives. They are connected to the sea through experience accumulated over generations, through survival skills passed down as a legacy. Amidst changing seascapes, these dangerous fishing practices retain their appeal thanks to the discipline, courage, and resilience of the people who depend on the sea for their livelihood. Despite the ever-present risks, they continue to sail out to sea, not just for a living, but also to preserve their traditions, their resilience, and the deep connection between humans and the ocean. The sea never forgives mistakes, and every day on board is a battle with nature, with risk, and with oneself. But it is thanks to their courage, skill, and perseverance that these people continue to sail, protecting marine resources, supporting their families, and maintaining one of the most dangerous professions in America. If you want to discover more extraordinary stories about the relationship between humans and nature, little-known facts, and inspiring adventurous careers, Subscribe to the Go Discover channel now so you don't miss any discoveries.